Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your host of the Mint Tea Podcast, Wyatt Graves. And today's guest is an awesome, full of energy author of a book that's soon to be published, and his name is Garrett Maroon. I met Garrett in the real estate space many, many years ago. Awesome dude, great character, and he is a hustler. He's figured out how to live a balanced life and how not to sell your soul to the devil for the sake of the almighty dollar. And today's conversation is about his book, it's about his journey, and it's about how he found his way of what I would say living the good life. So with that, let's get straight into my conversation with Garrett Maroon. Well, tell me what you're up to with this 210 Collective and your brokerage and all the things, man. I'm anxious to hear about it.
Yeah, bro. So let's see. So backtrack. So in 2022, my mom passed away. And believe her, she's with the Lord. We're the ones grieving, right? She's great. But it caused me, so in October 2022, it caused me to stop and just say, like, Lord, who do you want me to serve? And fast forward, in January of 23, I launched and opened the Faithful Agent, which is a nonprofit for Christians in real estate, just because there wasn't anything for us. And so that started to grow very quickly, and an incredible thing. We've got the podcast, we've got the community, we were doing conferences, had local groups meeting. And through that experience, people started asking me, hey, how do we get into business together? And so they were asking me to launch a Faithful Agent brokerage. Now I'm in Virginia. They were in Wyoming or Texas. Like, I don't know, how to do that. I don't feel called to do that. And so, and I was at KW, totally happy there. That was the moment where a buddy of mine was like, hey, if you want to do this, you should come to a place like an EXP. So I made the switch. But because we can do an organization, right? No doubt you're familiar. We can do our organization. Ephesians 2:10 is what 2:10 is for, to serve the Christian agent population in a deeper way without having to be a brokerage. And so I made that shift. That's been great. But really, man, what I'm most passionate about, so I wrote this book in 2023, and it's just been a long process to, go through the publishing and all this stuff. I guess I finished midway through last year. But, my heart has been helping agents recognize what I went through, which was, why am I building this bigger business, adding agents, trying to make more money, even though I'm working more hours? Like, this is not even what I actually want. What I want to do is have a business that creates the income that allows me to be home. We've got 5 kids now, right? Like, I don't want to miss them growing up. And whose scoreboard am I following? And it was the industry scoreboard, right? Everything is about deals, money, all the things that you know. And so, man, writing this book and trying to help agents redefine the win and really grasp what actually matters, and then equip them to go accomplish what matters. Man, that's been my passion. It's coming out in November. And that's my passion, man. It's just go around and try to share that with as many people as I can. So yeah, honored and appreciate you having me back on, brother.
How do you accomplish building a business that allows you to be home and present and not work more? Like, when are you going to not work more?
Yeah. So it's a great question. It's the difference for me is, so I'll say the first way I accomplished it was, instead of pursuit of the 7th level team, right? The real estate millionaire idea of a big complex, you step out, you have a CEO. I said, man, I don't want complexity. I want simplicity, and I don't want to wait that long. My kids are 8, 6, 4, 2 in 2 months. And so about 3 years ago, I went out and said, man, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go figure out a model where if I find one rock star agent and I have a part-time TC, that I can actually step out of production. And so I've been out of production for 2.5, 3 years with one agent working solely by referral. So, I'm spending a handful of hours a month generating business. I was coaching him up at the beginning, right? But now he's a rock solid agent. He's done 300 deals in 3 years. And handing him all the business, letting him effectively operate that business. So, he calls me his silent partner. Effectively, he runs that. And so it's allowed the consistent cash flow and growth to happen there without me being fully present in their day to day. And so it allows me the flexibility to control my hours, control my time. Like you, I care about what I'm building. And so I'm still working 40 hours a week, 35 to 40 hours a week typically. But that's it. I can control my time where I couldn't when I was hardcore into sales for 8 years, right? I didn't have a choice. If a client wanted to, the deal was falling through and I'm at my kid's soccer game, whatever, I had to get on the phone. I had to deal with that. That's how my family ate. And so I had to figure out a model that allowed me to be present when I needed to and where I wanted to, without losing income. And so thankfully that was step one. And step two for me has been, I'm in that process, right, of writing the book, doing speaking opportunities, other things like that, where for me, it's going to be another way to generate income, but also a way to bring my family along with me, right? So if I'm going to go speak, they're going to come. If I'm going to travel to do whatever, they're going to come with me to the best of our ability, right? And so I'm unwilling to trade that, man. At the end of my life, on my headstone, it's not going to say, it better not say real estate agent, right? It's certainly not going to say that, right? And 100 years, 200 years from now, when someone looks at my headstone and they see, everybody, a date, a dash, and a date, the dash is what represents our life. And so the question is, how are we going to spin that? And how do we want people to talk about what that dash meant? For me, it's not about how many deals I did, right? It's about being a loving dad and a present father, a follower of Jesus, right? Like impacting people and giving more than I took. That's what I want it to remember. And the income, the business, those things are immensely important. But if you can figure out a way where it doesn't have to dominate your life, you can be in pursuit of some other things that maybe you care more about.
I love that. And so you've transitioned out of production. Mm-hmm. And is that what you're teaching? Is that the model, is to teach other people how to transition out of production?
It's not. So good question. We certainly can. But no, the book is centered around, part one is, create your own scoreboard, right? So what I had to come to realize was, why did I was adding agents, I was adding admin to my team. Why was I even doing that? What you're doing is so unique, probably a similar mindset. Like, why am I doing this? Well, what I recognized was it's because that's what the industry told me to do. You're young and doing well. You're supposed to go grow a big team. So I just was doing that. And I'm walking back up to my office one day and I wondered, why am I even building this? This is not even what I want. I don't want a big team. I don't want complexity. It's not even that much more profitable, right? So all it is taking time away. What am I doing? And literally right over here on my whiteboard, the only thing I'd written down was number of transactions, GCI, and volume. And so all I was measuring was what the industry told me mattered, right? If you ask anyone right now, for the most part in real estate, say, hey, define for me what a successful agent looks like, they're mostly going to say they sell a lot of homes, they make a lot of money, maybe they drive a nice car, whatever that would be. And I started to realize, man, I had accidentally fallen into that category of this is how I define what matters to me. And so I had to reset the scoreboard, right? You look at any sport, you wonder who's winning, look at the scoreboard. And so I shifted that, man. So now what I measure is my profit goal. Sure, I have a profit goal, but now I have a wife goal. Now I have a family goal. And so every decision I make, does it actually still score the way I want it to? It's not just about transactions and volume and GCI. Those things matter. But it's not the end all be all, right? So it was this shift, man. How do we redefine what winning looks like for ourselves? And I can tell you a story about that. But then part two is what I teach called the PDA Formula. So how do you build a predictable, profitable business that aligns with who you are? And so how do we actually intentionally achieve the scoreboard? And most agents are, as you know, wasting time, energy, effort on things that don't actually matter or move the needle forward. So how do we remove those? How do we really dial in what business should look like for you from a lead generation strategy? You're going to spend less money, spend less time. You're going to actually grow your business. And then from there, there's the steps of how do we intentionally go, pay attention to our hierarchy of attention, I call it. So, for me, it's the Lord, it's my wife, it's my kids, then it's my business. How do I make sure I'm honoring them? How do I know what the right next thing is? And so, man, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. But the most important thing when they read that book is who gave me my definition of success? And the industry wants us to sell more homes because they're the ones that win. But I've met so many people, as I'm sure you have, sadly, who have lost their marriages, don't talk to their kids anymore, but they're ranked number one. This happened a few years ago in my market. They're ranked number one in the entire market, and at Realtor Prom, right? Everybody's clapping and cheering for them, but it's broadly known they didn't make money that year. They don't talk to one of their kids, and they lost their marriage. So, man, tell me that's success. I don't agree with that. And so we've fallen trapped to that. We need to redefine that and then know how to go achieve it.
What you're talking about is really, if we expand out, if we zoom out, right? It's how do you grow a business or have a job that funds the life that you want, right? Because some people don't need to have a business to fund the life they want.
True.
That's actually the train that I'm on right now. There's a lot of people in my circle that think you have to quit your W-2 job in order to live the good life. And I think that that's not really right? That's not true. There's a lot of people that work for me in a W-2 fashion that are on their way to living their good life. And it's about finding out and clarifying what your good life looks like, and finding a job or a workplace that is aligned with your personal values. But if you're going to go down the route of a self-employed person, not just beyond real estate, the question is, how do you build a business that does not require you to sell your soul to the devil? Does your book address that? Are we talking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it starts, brother, with, so again, I'll tell you a story. So I'm teaching this, I don't know, a year ago, teaching this concept. It was relatively new-ish. And a woman walks up to me afterwards. She introduces herself, says, Garrett, I'm a mom and I'm a solo agent. Last year, I sold 55 homes, which was her best year ever. Amazing. And she said, everyone's been asking me, Garrett, what am I going to do this year? And so I keep telling them 60 or 70. And she literally said, because that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to grow. And she said, but Garrett, after hearing your talk, I'm going to intentionally sell 30 homes and it's going to change my life. And so I said, the point of the talk was not for you to sell fewer homes necessarily, right? That's not what I'm advocating, but explain to me why. She says, Garrett, I got into this industry because I was never able to pick up my daughter from school. But guess what I've not been able to do because I've been so busy showing houses? I've never picked up my daughter from school. And so it's this redefinition of however life is supposed to look for you, whatever the good life is, to your point, looks like for you. We don't need to just sell more homes because the industry's excited about that. We don't need to sell more homes because now you're in the top 10 and you get to be on the panel, and those things are cool, don't get me wrong, but no one's going to care. Your daughter's not going to care at the end of your life that you got to sit on a panel. She's going to care that you picked her up from school. And so, man, who are we letting dictate what life is supposed to look like and what actions we're supposed to take? So 100%, man, what does the good life look to you? And you're an advocate of this. Build a business that supports that and or work a job that supports that. Don't say, I'm just going to go build a massive business and try to fit my life in somewhere in between. Life is too short. I don't know how long I have. We're all going to end up a date and a dash and a date. Man, I want to do this well, and I want to leave an imprint where I want to leave an imprint on purpose and choose it instead of chance it, which is what I was doing for so long. So, 100%, man, we address that, and I hope to bring awareness to it because only the individual can change. I can't make them change. You can't make them change. They've got to want it for themselves and pay attention to the people around them that love them because they want them to change too.
Hey, guys, if you've been a listener of my show for any length of time, you know that I attribute a lot of my growth to learning from the guys inside of GoBundance. If you think that GoBundance is a tribe that you might be interested in joining, then reach out to me. Go to WyattGraves.com. Connect with me. I'll reach out personally with you and answer any questions about GoBundance to see if it's the right fit for you. So your book and your coaching. So how are you, what's the way in which people can get involved with you? If somebody is listening to this conversation and they say, you know what, I'm that person, I'm that mom, or I'm that dad, and that's my story. They read the book. The book is the blueprint to change the circumstances. Yes?
Yes, it is.
And then is there something deeper beyond the book? Do you have a coaching program? Do you have a mentorship program? Or is it the book and nothing, but is it the book and be a real estate agent on your team, in your network? What's that look like? Connect the dots for me.
Yeah, for sure, brother. So yeah, I don't do paid coaching anymore. Kind of like what you've shared as well is there's a lot of free resources. So I try to be part of that community, but I have two ways for them to connect. So once they're done, if they want to be part of a community, right, especially if they're a Christian agent, the Faithful Agent is a nonprofit that I run. I teach live there every single Tuesday. They can connect with me. They can engage with me. They can be any part of brokerage. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I also have, if they feel like they need more and they want to go a step further and get more free resources, have more free coaching opportunities with me, be able to hop on a call, whatever, then I do have what's called the 210 Collective for Ephesians 210 at EXP. It's an organization. The key there is if they want more, fantastic, man. Like I want to support them however I can. But this is the book is not meant to be now you need to come join my organization, right? Like, I hope that they create a better life for themselves wherever they are. And if they feel like they need more, reach out to me or come see me speak, or hopefully we'll write more books, right? I met with the publisher this past week, and I just want to keep writing and getting information out there, because people have an unbelievable ability to create change in their own lives, right? And you're an example of that. But we have an unbelievable opportunity to totally transform everything relatively quickly, right? It's a mindset shift. It's a focus shift. It's from going from this is actually distraction and I'm going to focus on traction, right? It's really going in the right direction more often than not, and it can totally transform everything. So if they want more, I hope they don't need more, quite honestly. If they want more, I hope they join me in those places. But if not, I hope it just changes the way they think. They grab a buddy and say, hey, read this with me. Let's hold each other accountable to pursue the kind of life that we actually want to build.
That's great, man. I love that. The book is not out yet. It's about to be.
Yeah, it comes out in November, and so they can go buy it. Now, the thing I'm doing is if they go buy it on Barnes & Noble and email me the receipt, I'll send them a free audiobook as soon as that doesn't come out till February, but I'll get it out to them a little bit sooner. But yeah, for right now, they can go to the Balanced with a D, thebalancedbreakthrough.com. There's a free download there, the PDA formula that will help them start getting some wins right now and shift their alignment, right? How they're running their business. Is it based on their individual strengths or how the industry defines success? So I'd have them go there.
Yeah, that's great, man. And if they want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so Garrett Maroon, GarrettMaroon. That's my Instagram handle. They can reach out, DM me there. You can text me 804-878-2200. Though now that I say that, Wyatt, that always comes back to bite me. I don't know if you've done that, but then I start to get overwhelmed and I want to respond. Forgive me if I don't respond if you text me right away. But man, like you, brother, my passion is to help them see a bigger, better way. And whatever that takes, I don't know what that looks like. If the book comes out and does super well and people need coaching, man, I'll build a coaching program. If they need free course, whatever, I'll build courses, right? If they need whatever they need, right? Like, my mission is to impact them. And so if they need something and I don't have it, I want to try to build that. And so, man, I'm trying to listen to what it is that this industry needs to pursue success, because my win at the end of the day, Wyatt, is 3 years from now, 2 years from now, whatever, I'm at an event and I'm speaking and I come off stage and a young kid comes up to me and says, hey, I want you to know, Mr. Maroon, Mr. Garrett, whatever, I really appreciate that you wrote that book because now I get to see my mom a lot more. Like, that's a win to me, man. Is family staying together, marriages staying strong, the pursuit of what matters over what is fleeting. Man, that's my hope. And if nobody remembers who I am, that's fine. If they pursue what's right and good, man, there will be so much joy in that.
I have a question. Do you think that's a mindset thing or a business model thing?
Yeah. Phenomenal question. I think for real estate agents, right, in particular, I would say they either one, don't know what to do every day. And if they do know what to do every day, they don't do it often enough. And so it's a mindset shift first, I think, is what am I actually in pursuit of? And once, how do you answer the question? If I create my scoreboard and I say, whatever, my goal this year is to sell make $100,000, take my my wife on a date twice during the month, and take every 7th week off to be with my kids, right? Which was my first one many years ago. Now I have the right question to ask. So now I get to say, okay, what kind of business can I create that allows me to make $100,000, take this day off, take every 7th week off, and still do these things, right? Now I can ask the right question. And so it's a mindset shift first, but how many people shift their mindset for a day or two? I mean, it's like a pain pill, right? You feel good about it and you did take no action. And so it's like, great, that Advil helped you for 4 hours, but now it wore off and you still have the same problem. So definitely a mindset shift, but then you got to actually create structure where you're going to take different actions or you're going to get the same result, right? And so it's both. It's a great question, but I think it's both.
And does your book address both?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
starts
cool.
with the mindset. Yeah, starts with the mindset, then goes into the formula to say, now here's what you actually got to create to go do.
Got it. And does it speak to just real estate agents or it's anybody with any business? Yeah, anyone with any business. I mean, it's from anybody that's going to read it. No, it's from my point of view, which most of my experience has been in the real estate space.
right? So, but I would say other than the PDA formula, which if you're not a salesperson, entrepreneur, business owner, that won't make sense to you. But if you're a dentist and you're trying to build a practice and you're trying to figure out what your strategy is to grow your sales, it will absolutely make sense.
Got it.
So 100%. Yep.
Got it. Before we finish, tell me about your family. You got 5 kids now?
Yeah, man. So we've got 5 kiddos. My wife and I have been married almost 13 years. So they're 8, 6, 4, 2, and 2 months. And it is the hardest and most amazing thing ever, man, with kids. But it is so joyful. And it's every time we have another kid, which I don't know, maybe we're done. But every time we have another kid, it just reminds me how grateful I am that 5 years ago, I set out to say, man, how do I spend less time in the things I don't want to do and more time in the things I do want to do? Because I'll never get these years back, man. Time is fleeting. And when they're all out of the house, whatever, go work 60 hours a week. Not that I'm going to want to be away from my wife, but man, the time I have now is special and it's running out. And so, man, every single time we have a kid, which is such a blessing, it just reminds me, man, I want to be here. Like, I don't want anything to get in the way of that. And so it's been an incredible journey so far.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I'm proud for you, proud for your family. I always say there's nothing like the miracle of new life. And there's just something around, something magical, spiritual around welcoming new life. And those first couple of weeks, even maybe months, it's been too long. I told Janae the other day, I need to hold a new baby.
Nice.
I don't want it to be my baby, but I need to hold a new baby. I need
come on out to Virginia,
connect with new life.
You can watch my kids anytime. No problem.
For sure. Awesome. For sure, man. Well, is there anything else that I did not ask you or that we did not cover that you think would be helpful for the people that need to hear your message?
Man, I appreciate that question. Again, I think at the end of the day, my main message is don't let someone else define what winning looks like for you. You define success, right? That's number one. Number two is then you need to go intentionally achieve that. Start walking that path. Doesn't need to look like everybody else. And that's good and right. You aren't everyone else. And so build a business that aligns with who you are. And it's going to honor the Lord, right? From my faith perspective, it's going to honor your family and it's going to keep you from burnout. It's going to take you where you need to go. So man, the good life is there. It just takes a mindset shift to your point and some action shifts, and you're going to get there. Just give yourself a long enough runway and you will always get there. Your plane will always take off. So don't give up. Just keep trying.
Stay the course.
Yeah, stay the course.
Stay the course. That's good stuff, man. You got me fired up today. I love it. Love your energy.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, one more time, let my listeners know where they can connect with you.
So thebalancedbreakthrough.com, go grab that, or just reach out to me directly, Garrett Maroon, at Garrett Maroon on Instagram. Yeah, they can connect with me there.
And how do we buy your book or pre-order your book?
Yeah, so go through thebalancedbreakthrough.com. It'll be right there. You can get the free download. You can go buy the book. Yep, everything's right there.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Garrett, this has been awesome, man. If I can do anything for you in South Louisiana, you know how to hit me up and find me.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Hey guys, Wyatt Graves here. As you know from previous episodes of this show, I'm on a mission to grow a business that has 25,000 doors, a holding company of service-based businesses surrounded by a protective moat of a personal growth and development educational company. With that being said, I am looking for deals, I'm looking for talent, and I'm looking for capital. If you're interested in connecting with me, go to my website, wyattgraves.com. Send us a deal. I will be sure to include you in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're a real estate agent and you want to be my agent, you're welcome to be my agent if you bring the deal to me. If you're not my agent and you bring the deal to me, we will still get you paid somehow, some way. If you want to work inside of our world, then drop me a line, send me an email, connect with me. We're interested in attracting level 5 talent. And then finally, if you are an investor and want to invest your money, not only to get double-digit returns, but also to have real impact inside of the communities as we raise up the level of good life living throughout our properties with our residents, with our employees, with our communities, then I want to connect with you. Go to wyattgraves.com and fill out the contact information, and I will personally be in touch with you so that we can figure out how we can shake the trees together and win together. wyattgraves.com.